Hi, good morning. This is Miriam from Keto My Way. My attempt at being the beach look with the curly hair and all of that didn't work to change the day. It's a dark, dreary day, but I'm going to stay cheerful about this. I had a lot of reaction yesterday to my video. There were only a few comments. Deb S., thank you. It's the first time I see you commenting. But I had a lot of discussions with my friends off of the YouTube site. And everybody is really concerned that if I try to go into the mindful eating mode with keto, it spells disaster. I really want to give this a try. And I saw something today that I had to write down. It says, I would rather do something I regret than regret something I didn't do. And I think that actually speaks to this. As I said, this is a month out of my life. I want to make a commitment to the month and see what we can do. I mentioned yesterday Leanne Vogel and healthfulpursuit.com and her plate method, but she has other methods for making keto more of a natural lifestyle. Yes, it could be, and this is, my friend Jen pointed this out, that my lifestyle very well might just be weighing and measuring and tracking. That might be how I have to define my lifestyle from now on. But I just want to read something that I took from her latest podcast because I think it expresses what I'm trying to get here. So she was writing herself about how the weighing and the measuring and the tracking and checking the macros and going to my fitness pal became very obsessive for her. And what I think that people don't understand is I really have a compulsive, obsessive eating disorder. Nothing that brought me to bulimia or anorexia or even 400 or 500 pounds worth of eating, but enough that a little bit can trigger me to go crazy. And she has the same background, and because of my backgrounds with eating, I really gravitate towards this. I respect that it may be that I have to weigh and measure everything and track everything, and I understand this. But I'm going to give it a month. Anyway, she wrote this. For example, this morning it's 11 o'clock and I woke up not feeling hungry at all and not wanting a fatty coffee at all. And so I made some iced tea, just steeped herbal tea with a drop of monk fruit sweetener. And I've been sipping on this and I'm really not all that hungry. But if I were tracking, I'd be worried because yesterday I didn't eat a lot either. And now this morning I'm not eating, and so I'd probably force myself to have a fatty coffee and stress about, oh my gosh, I'm not going to hit my fat intake if it's already 11 o'clock and I haven't had fat. And she just says it's very stressful. And I don't find, let's say, weighing and measuring and writing everything down and all of that, it hasn't reached a stressful point for me yet, but I know that I will be better for me psychologically, I think. Give me a month to decide this. I think that I will be better off if I find a compromise. So she goes on and explains her suggestion for doing this. She says to remove tracking for just one meal. When you're not tracking your meals, write them down in a little book or a notebook or whatever, which I have. I have a dated book that I use. And she said, start doing it with one meal. Start writing down what you're eating and how you feel. So she's not suggesting that you just eat like you go out to McDonald's and say, I'm not going to track. No, you're still aware, and you're aware of how it makes you feel. She said, start writing down what you're eating and how you're feeling for just one meal, and then track for the rest of the day. So to go back to my Greek salad, I did deconstruct it at home. Instead of just calling it 10, I actually took out the feta cheese and I took out the red onion and I took out the olives and I put it on the scale and I measured it in grams and I wrote, and it was exactly the 10 that I said it was. I mean, on the button. And so that's it. I'm not going to worry about that particular meal. I did put down 10. Okay, maybe when I have it tomorrow, I'll just say salad made me feel great, didn't raise my blood sugar. Have at the back of my mind that it was about half of the amount of carbs that I want to eat. But I mean, I hope I'm expressing myself saying that I'm not going willy-nilly, like saying, I'm never going to track and I'm just going to assume that I'm eating 20 total and I'm going to assume that this doesn't affect my blood sugar. I'm really not saying that. I appreciate everybody's concerns and comments, and please do keep them coming because it means a lot to me. But I also want to try this for a month. I want to try this. Let me just don't track one meal. I will write down what I eat. I will write down what I eat because if my blood sugar is not a good number, or the weight goes up on the scale, or I'm feeling crappy, let's say I'm feeling tired or I feel nauseous or whatever, I do want to look back and I want to see what I ate and I want to figure out the carbs. But on those days that I ate and then at the end of the day tracked it on MyFitnessPal, my macros were right where they needed to be, and actually so were my carbs. So I'm not going into this without some education behind me. And I mean, by education, I mean that I've been doing this since December. And so I know a carb. All right. If I don't know, I will look it up. Um, I I still, maybe this month, will use this month to decide about this whole salad thing. Because I think that I can have a column of total carbs and a column of net carbs that factor out to be total. So, and I corresponded with Ask Nurse Cindy. I really admire her and her daughter Rachel D. And she was saying that she has gotten to the point where she eyeballs. She holds it in the back of her head. I'm even doing more than that because I'm writing it down. And she says, some days you're going to eat 17 carbs, and some days you're going to eat 25, and some days maybe 5, and some days it's a wedding and you maybe don't have the wedding cake, but you have a little more of something else. And it all evens out. Once you've made a commitment to this and you have a general understanding, it evens out and it's not something to terribly worry about. So anyway, I just wanted to say, so this is day 2. It went very well. My project for today was just making sure about that deconstructed salad because I took everybody's concern to heart, and if I was really eating 20 or 25 carbs, I needed to know that I wasn't fooling myself and saying 10. So that worked out really well. Anyway, I just wanted to invite you again to my group Facebook page, Keto My Way. Please, if you weigh and you measure and you track and you think I'm an idiot, please say so. Well, maybe don't call me an idiot, but I need to know different ways of doing this. I know people have been extremely, extremely successful on low carb rather than keto. I'm not even looking to cross that line. Meaning, I think low carb is like between 50 and 100 or something like that. So I'm not even going there. But if you're doing low carb and you've experienced success with low carb, I really want to hear that as well, because that's important to have everybody's viewpoints. I want to know if you weigh and you measure and you track. I want to know if you eyeball. I want to know if you do this method of maybe not tracking one meal a day. This is why I set up this Facebook group page because I really want to learn from everybody and what everybody is doing. I have a few minutes left to keep this a short video, but I also wanted to mention I was talking with my friends yesterday, and my friend said, uh, when are you going to trust keto? That the science is there and that it can be trusted, that it will work. You eat high fat, you eat low carb, you eat moderate protein. What is so hard about accepting that, yes, it's that easy, even if I take a pen to paper? And this conversation went on and on, not in circles, but on and on. And finally I said, you know what? The issue is I don't trust myself. And I do trust keto, but she says, when are you going to trust yourself? I said, maybe next December. I mean, it's not unusual for me to stick with something for a long time, but I don't stick with it, and I've always said, well, no, not always, but since finding keto, I realized that it was the diet plan that failed me, not me that failed the diet plan, but maybe I don't know that for sure yet. And so, yes, keto is that simple, and so what's the big deal about writing everything down? But I want to take it to the level of really trusting myself, like to say, you know, I think I've had enough carbs for today. I'm just going to have a couple of eggs for dinner. Or I had a big salad today at lunch. I'm going to skip the grilled asparagus and things like that. And so if it is that easy, then why can't it be easy? And the issue is not that I don't trust keto, but I'm still learning to trust myself. I've been a career dieter. My mother sent me to a diet doctor when I was 13 years old. I think I said this in another video, I was put on speed. Amphetamines. Nobody thought twice about putting a child on that who was a little chubby. So we are talking, so 65 minus 13. So we're talking 52 years of dieting history. My feeling of not trusting myself is not going to change. December, January, February, March, April, May. That is not going to change in 6 months. And so I'm still working on that. So I am trying to learn to trust myself. And I think keto is a good way to learn that trust because it is that easy. Anyway, Keto My Way on my Facebook page. Please join me. Please don't be silent. And also my website, ketomyway.com, still adding content to that. Yesterday I just added the video. Today I'm going to try to write a little bit. So just remember what I said. I would rather do something I regret than regret something I didn't do. So I am going to stick with this June challenge to myself. Thank you very much for joining me. Have a great day. Curly hair doesn't make the sun go out, but I can pretend I'm on a beach. All right, have a good day, everybody.